It's a trap! That was fancy.
Oh,
That
Totally
was.
sounded like it was part of the theme song, but it wasn't. I
Yeah,
accidentally clicked the button.
You accidentally,
Yeah.
like, I thought it was just perfect and it just fit with the whole theme that we're talking about tonight. And so I was like, oh, that was nice. A nice little touch. It's a trap. Although you needed it to say it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Welcome to Stolen Droids Podcast, everybody. I'm Jake.
I'm Colin.
I'm Marley.
And I'm Zonner.
And tonight we are talking about the new and improved, and really the only now, Star Wars Holiday Special. The Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
I don't know about new and improved, all right?
It's absolutely new and improved.
What?
It's 100% better.
What are you talking
Like
about?
1,000 times better.
You mean you don't like watching movies where all that you hear is the whole time?
You know, the original Star Wars Holiday Special, if you've never seen it, guys, you need to go out and find it. It's on YouTube, and you can check it out. It's something you should experience once in your life, I suppose, but it's not good. It's really awful. This was back before Star Wars had really been established to be what it is today. I mean, it was after only Star Wars had come out. There hadn't even been Empire Strikes Back. The universe wasn't as well established, and so they kind of did some weird stuff.
That's
Weird
really
stuff.
putting it mildly, Jake. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like a bad acid trip, I think.
Yeah. Marley, it's to the point that there's
I'm so horrified.
there's just one scene where the grandpa Wookiee is like, he has on this like VR helmet and he's watching this random show, and it's this girl just like seductively dancing.
Yeah.
And it literally
it's
showed
weird.
that for like 10 minutes. You're just on this.
So what it was, it was a made-for-TV special, and it was made to be a variety show. So it's like a Star Wars variety show. So they've got different people doing different musical acts and different skits. You do get the first appearance of Boba Fett, an animated version of Boba Fett. So that was a big deal that came out of the holiday special.
That is the one redeeming quality.
Wait, was it animated?
It was.
No. So Boba Fett
no,
part was animated, but the rest of it was not animated.
Okay.
And you have the original Star Wars actors in it, which does put it above the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, because it's all of the voice talent in this is not the original actors. But in the original Star Wars Holiday Special, you've got Mark Hamill, you've got Harrison Ford, you've got Carrie Fisher. All three of them throughout their appearances are wondering what the heck they're doing there, and you can tell. But it's just very 70s. It's very TV. It's very variety show. It's something that we just wouldn't see today. But it's something that, like, it's so bad that it's never been released on VHS or DVD or like for purchase anywhere. George Lucas has tried to bury it so deep. But of course, with the internet today, you can't hide anything anymore. It's all out there.
I think that this is their way of trying to cover it up from coming on like any search engine whatsoever.
Yeah. So now whenever anybody refers to the holiday special, this is what comes up. I actually was talking the other night, and my son, my 10-year-old, has kept asking me all week long, Can we watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special? Can we watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special? And I finally told him today, I said, okay, I'm going to have time tonight. Let's watch the Star Wars Holiday Special. And my wife looked at me and she said, why didn't you say Lego Star Wars Holiday Special? And I said, because it's Star Wars and it's a holiday special. She said, but no, it's Lego. And I'm thinking, we need to initiate you, wife.
Yeah.
So
Did you make her watch it?
She actually watched it the other night with the kids. My kids have watched it like twice a day.
No,
since
the old
16.
one. No, I'm talking about the old one.
No, I have not made her watch it yet. I do have it on DVD, so I think I'm going to make her watch it. Yeah, I loved it though at the beginning when Chewbacca's family walks in and I asked my kids, I said, "Is that Itchy?" And my 4-year-old looks at me and says, "Yep."
Is that the white one? The lighter colored one?
Yeah. That's Chewbacca's like porn loving dad.
Okay. So let's get into the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special before we talk anymore about the original Holiday Special. It's out there on the interwebs. Kids, you can go find it.
Kids?
Yeah,
you want kids to find it?
I mean,
Zoner and Colin play up the Wookiee porn part quite a bit. It's really not as offensive as they make it sound. It's just weird.
Well, to be fair,
it's not offensive. You're right. It's
pretty much the entire thing weird. Is offensive.
It's like
listen, B. Arthur as a cantina operator. I'm on board with that. Wasn't it B. Arthur?
Yeah, it was B. Arthur, and she's there with Harvey Korman.
Yeah. It is. You've got to go experience it. You've got to go check it out. If you're a Star Wars fan, you've got to go check it out just to see. However, our kids now are going to grow up. When they hear Star Wars Holiday Special, they're going to think of this Lego movie. And honestly, as a Star Wars fan, I enjoyed it way more than I thought that I was going to. Like, I was very, very pleased with it. Because there are a lot of call-outs to a lot of different things in the Star Wars universe and a lot of just a lot of Easter eggs and nostalgia and just some good laughs.
Yeah, for sure. Just one more thing about the original. Going back to the Boba Fett cartoon, it is the first official Star Wars cartoon, and it was produced by Nelvana, which later did Droids and Ewoks, and they did quite a few. Nelvana did quite a few of those 80s cartoons. So if they sound familiar, you probably recognize their work. So if nothing else, find the Boba Fett segment and watch that, because it actually is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Considering it's 1978.
Yeah. So as you said, Zoner, one of my favorite parts, or one of my first parts that I really enjoyed, was when they walk in with all of Chewie's family, because I was like, this is a nice nod to the original special without saying, like, we're not redoing the original special, but look, it's Life Day, we're on Kashyyyk, we are here with the Wookiee family of Chewbacca. Like, it was pretty cool.
And I thought that was a nice now.
What's that?
And Life Day is actually canon now.
Yeah, Life Day is actually canon. For a long time, the holiday special has not been canon in the Star Wars universe, because George Lucas, again, would like to forget that it ever happened. And so it's never officially been a thing that there's Life Day, but now it is official, because they call it out quite a few times that it's Life Day and that they're celebrating it and what it's about. Even Darth Vader got a gift for the Emperor for Life Day, which I want to talk about that scene. Like, there's just so much in this. What I love about it is, as a Star Wars fan, you've got to be able to make fun of the thing that you love a little bit, because sometimes it is over the top, and they find some great ways to poke fun at Star Wars in this holiday special in a way that just it made me happy.
Oh, for sure. And one thing that I thought was interesting, I mean, it opens right up at the beginning with Rey training Finn to become a Jedi.
Yes.
Which may throw some people. There may be some people who are like, wait, what? Why is Finn being a Jedi? How is he a Jedi now? Mm-hmm. Because it was never really made explicit that he had the Force. I mean, it was alluded to a lot, but it was never really explicit.
Yeah. And the rumor is that that's what he had to tell Rey, was that he could feel the Force and that he was Force sensitive, when he kept saying, hey, I've got to tell you something. And then we never got any satisfaction in the actual film of him telling her what he was going to tell her.
That's right.
but supposedly that's what it was. That he was force sensitive, and apparently in some of the storyboards and storylines that they had kind of drawn out, it was going to part of it was going to be Finn's journey with the force and kind of learning the ways of the force as well. So I was happy to see him training, and not only that, the lightsaber he was training with was Rey's new lightsaber.
Yeah,
it was her yellow one, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I do wish, because you know that these actors are no longer going to do another Star Wars film, especially right. John Boyega. He's very vocal about that. But it would be amazing to have a show that highlights Rey going through and training him. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah. And I really wish we would have gotten that in the actual films. And I think John Boyega really wishes we would have gotten that. And if we had gotten that in the films, he probably would come back and do more.
Oh, yeah.
But instead, Finn really did kind of get sidelined starting in The Last Jedi and then going into The Rise of Skywalker. So, but I love that. I love that they started with that. And it's the original equipment that Luke was using when he was training. And so it's a good callback to A New Hope there. So I loved when they were talking about the food, they kept talking about tip yip, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
what is that? Do we know?
We do. And this is why it's so funny. So if you've had the opportunity to go to Galaxy's Edge in either California or Florida, at Disneyland or Disney World, one of the restaurants there is Docking Bay 7, and they serve fried tip yip, which is just fried chicken. But that's one of the things on the menu. So I was like, they are, as they can, because they say it like 500 times in the movie. They're like, oh, hey, tip yip, who's going to cook the tip yip? Who's got a good tip yip recipe and all other stuff? And my wife heard it, and she's like, that they're kind of like promoting Galaxy's Edge and what they've got in Galaxy's Edge. And I was like, yeah, I think it ties in with that for sure. That, and when Darth Vader gives the Emperor the mug and he throws it after Rey through the portal, and he's like, I had to go to every gift shop in Batuu to get that. Like, it was some good kind of poking fun at Galaxy's Edge and Batuu and all of that, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I like how everything is just so like tied together, like, and even even like the Mandalorian part, you know, because obviously we haven't seen like the Mandalorian now, you know, I mean, obviously we've seen Mandalorians and stuff, but the one we know now and Baby Yoda, like, we haven't seen those guys in the films, you know? Right. So just seeing them, like, kind of be, even though it was really quick, you know, just, like, having them be a part of this Lego special, like, it just was fun to see everything tied together.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids actually, my 10-year-old actually started watching The Mandalorian after he's watched the holiday special, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just from that one part where they saw him, and they're like, oh.
Just from that one part, he's like, oh man, you think that I would enjoy The Mandalorian? I'm like, yes, you would.
Yes. You're like, I've only been telling you
every second with you.
Yeah. It's like we've only been talking about it for the past year, but whatever.
Yeah, when we watched it the first time, my son and I, he really excited when they showed all the different helmets at the beginning, because if you've seen The Mandalorian, you know they've got kind of the intro where it shows all the different Star Wars helmets and the droid heads and things. Well, they did the same thing for this, except it was all Lego helmets and droid heads and everything. And so he thought that was really cool. And they showed the Mandalorian helmet. He's like, oh, the Mandalorian's going to be in this. And I said, I don't think he's going to be in this. And then we got to the part where the Mandalorian shows up with Baby Yoda for just a second. And he was like, see, I told you. It's like, all right.
That's awesome.
But then later, he was watching it earlier today, and he would not let my wife leave. Because he's like, no, you're going to miss the really cute part. You're going to miss the really cute part. And she's like, well, when is it coming up? He's like, it's coming. And she's like, well, why don't you tell Dad what the cute part is so he can tell me like how long I've got before it's on? It's like, no, it's just the cute part. Don't worry. And he's like, Dad knows it's the cute part. I'm like, I have no idea what he's talking about. And it was literally just that 1 second when Darth Vader and Rey stop. And they're like, oh, cute. Because the child and everything. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well that makes sense. That's the cute part because they're literally saying how cute he is. So
it does make sense.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious when, I mean, they literally stop fighting and they just look, and I thought it was brilliant how they did that. I just thought it was so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There were a lot of really the way they found to kind of integrate everything from the whole Skywalker saga through to now was really great to use the time travel, and it was just kind of a fun way to tie it all together. And they played up everything that we love, like Obi-Wan saying hello there, having 3 different versions of Obi-Wan saying hello there.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello there. And
oh my goodness,
that part was really great to me because when he said it, my 4-year-old looked at me. He's like, "Of course he would say hello there," and like a tear started coming from my eye. That he would know that would be the appropriate thing for Obi-Wan to say.
oh,
Like I was like, I
so
was so proud of him in that moment that he was that aware of Star Wars, that he knew that. So, but I love that. I loved Kylo Ren without his shirt on.
Oh my
And them
gosh.
calling out how uncomfortable that was.
Yes.
Because really, in The Last Jedi, that was a really
nuts.
uncomfortable moment.
Oh my gosh.
And they keep talking about his nipples and navel, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, the guy. I mean, I didn't really mind. I love Kylo Ren. Like I think he's a really interesting character, and so like I liked his part in this Lego special. I thought it was just really funny, and it actually, like, I have to say, like, probably the first little bit of the special, I was kind of like, what am I watching? Like, this is so... like, I like Star Wars, okay? Probably not nearly, like, as much as you guys do. Like, I enjoy the movies, but, like, I was like, what is this? And it finally, as it was getting into it, and, like, Rey was going around and time jumping a bunch and seeing all these different people, and then things kind of started getting out of hand, and a lot of people were just all of a sudden, like, in the same place. Like, I have to say, like, when they were all outside Luke's house, and when they're like all together, and then you see like the light and the dark side, and all of a sudden they're kind of like, wait a second, and so then they like all like pull out their lightsabers and they like start fighting each other. I just thought that was just kind of funny. Like, I don't know, but there was just so many little Easter eggs in it, and even like I couldn't stop laughing at Darth Maul's little half body and trying to like jump, and like he's twirling his double lightsaber. Like, then after, I think kind of around there, like I just kind of started like chuckling more, and finding humor in it.
yes.
I thought it was great.
I like it how they had the old Han Solo and the young Han Solo.
Yeah.
And one of them says, "You want to shoot first," when they see Greedo.
Yeah.
And the other says, "After you." And then I just, that right there
Literally same time
is so perfect, because that is such a bone of contention with Star Wars fans after the special edition came out. And I love that they're able to just poke fun at that. Yeah. And it seemed like for the longest time, George Lucas just tried to pretend like the whole Han shooting first never happened, and tried to pretend like everyone else was wrong, and we didn't actually remember how it was, despite the fact that everybody's got their old VHS copies and whatnot. And now Disney is just like, you know what? Let's have fun with it. Let's just roll with it. And so I thought that was just hilarious. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been kind of fun if Mace Windu only had one arm, but can't get everything.
Oh, goodness.
Can't get everything.
I think, I loved that they called out a lot of that kind of stuff. But I did think it was really interesting that there was one thing that, like, they were almost going out of their way to not call out, like that they were recognizing, we really like understand that we kind of messed up with this in The Rise of Skywalker. So Rey talks about she saw her master and her master's master and her master's master with his master and like all these other things and her master's father and her master's father's master. And Kylo Ren calls out that Darth Vader is his grandpa, but nobody mentions that Palpatine is Rey's grandfather.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Like they go out of their way to not talk about that. And I was like, is that their way of kind of saying like, look, we can poke fun at a lot of things, but we're not going to make fun of that because it was just really bad. I mean, it really kind of, it was like conspicuously missing because of how much they called out everything else.
I don't know if it was them saying that it was really bad. I think it may be more of like we don't want the contention from the fans, and we just want this to be what it is. Because really, they didn't pull a lot from even the Last Jedi.
I think they did though.
I mean, they had the Battle of Exegol.
They had the Battle of Exegol. They also
Skywalker though.
What's that?
That's Rise of Skywalker though, not the last.
Yeah, but Kylo Ren in his Kylo Ren without his shirt on was totally from Last Jedi.
Kylo Ren,
and then he cut Snoke in half when he's like, "You'd never throw your master down a reactor shaft, would you?"
I take it back.
Not down a reactor shaft. No,
I thought that was perfect.
No, I would never do that.
But we didn't see all the like Leia stuff though from Last Jedi and like all the other stuff. Like, yeah, we saw a couple things, but I mean, of course, like they can't show everything in a 47-minute long thing. But you know, you could definitely tell there were some things missing. And is it just me or did we not see Padme very much?
I think
we didn't see her.
We
only had her mentioned
at all.
Yeah,
I don't think we see her at all.
There was like that scene where they're like in the elevator, like going.
Yeah.
There was
kind of it.
Yeah, most of the prequel stuff. I mean, you had the pod racing.
Yeah, that was actually cool, and even the sound effects were like right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were the clones from the Clone Wars.
Oh my gosh. We saw Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yep, we did. We saw Qui-Gon in the chamber where they're waiting, and the droids are going to poison him with the gas.
That scene wasn't a little longer. Because I would like to have seen more Qui-Gon.
Oh, I love Qui-Gon.
I honestly think Qui-Gon should have lasted longer.
Yeah, I mean that's just every Star Wars fan of the prequels.
On a side note,
like to have seen.
If you want more Qui-Gon Jinn, read Master and Apprentice.
Yeah, great book.
Yeah,
great book.
It is a good book. But yeah, and then we get the battle on, or the return to Mustafar with Anakin versus Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith.
I really wanted someone to make a joke about having the high ground in that one.
Oh, I did too.
As she was battling Darth Vader, I wanted her to say something about having the high ground, and I was really kind of sad that they didn't do it.
But then I think the only real other reference to the prequels was when someone made a comment about Jar Jar giving a speech in the Senate.
The Senate speech.
Yes.
Yeah, because Palpatine got the executive powers or whatever it's called because of frickin' Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm inside Jar Jar. It's fine.
But you mentioned how good it looked, Marley, and there were a lot of scenes where I really felt like the animation was just incredible in this. Like the Battle of Yavin, as they're all in the X-Wings and everything, like that was just incredible. It just looked really amazing.
It really did, didn't it? That could have been like the movie, like the original movie.
So we've been remodeling our fireplace, and so we haven't had our TV installed until just now. But we've had another TV downstairs that we've been watching things on. That's just a really old television. But we put up our 4K television and turned that on, and the amount of crispness within that movie is just insane.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Like, the quality is incredible.
They did a fantastic job on that. And I mean, I just loved that trench run, and when the Death Star exploded, that was just fantastic.
Well, it looked just like the movie.
It did.
Yeah.
Though I was almost expecting like some funny little like Lego flair from that explosion. Like I was almost expecting like sparkles or something, because they kind of do funny little things like that in exaggeration. Yes. You know, like if you've seen any of the other Lego movies or like Lego Batman, like they just kind of do funny things because it's Lego, you know, it's
Well, like when she ports into Dagobah and she's in the swamp and she pulls her hair, like her whole hair out of the water.
Yeah, she takes it
and
off
like dumps it out and puts it on her head. Like
that was so
those are the kind of gags that you're used to seeing, and and they fit right in.
Oh my goodness!
Now, go ahead, Jake.
I was gonna say I loved Tatooine Luke from A New Hope before he's gone and done anything yet. And when they find him at his house and he's drinking the blue milk out of the blue milk carton, like,
I thought that was
he's
great.
got the
that
blue
was
milk
so
mustache.
Awesome. Yeah, and he's just got that the whole time, that he's just nursing that one little carton of blue milk.
Yeah,
yes.
that was so good. And I just laughed when I saw that. And my son asked me, he said, "What's so funny, Dad? Is it because of the blue milk mustache?" And I said, "Partly, yes." just the whole blue milk, and I mean, it's just brilliant how they did that. Going back to Dagobah, though, the way that they had Yoda when he was talking with Luke about lifting the X-wing out of the swamp, and he's all do or do not, there is no try. And then all of a sudden he's like, there's no participation trophies for Jedi. I'm like, that right there is awesome. I just laughed. I thought that was so funny that Yoda would just throw that out there. You don't get a participation trophy, you weenie. Just do it. I thought that was funny.
I thought that was pretty good.
There was that whole Force levitation between Darth Vader and Rey. And when Kylo just says, "I should have saw that coming."
Yes.
Yeah, because he's been there before.
Yeah. I mean, just so many little things like that. And it's funny because like my 4-year-old, even my 10-year-old, they're not going to get those jokes. They're not going to understand those references. But they still think the show is just hilarious. Yeah. They just love it. My 3-year-old and my 4-year-old both just sat and watched it with me tonight. Again, they've probably seen it half a dozen times now. And it came out, 3 days ago? And yeah, they've just watched it over and over again, and they just laugh the entire time. They're sitting there quoting the show to me as we're watching it. I'm like, y'all need to quiet. I got to listen to this. I got research to do. But they love it. And it's amazing that they're able to still do stuff like this that will entertain kids, but they throw those little references in there for us as adults and as Star Wars fans where, you know, I should have seen that coming. We just laugh and giggle because we understand why that's funny. And the blue milk, you know, the kids are saying, "Why is that so funny, Dad?" And then we can take the opportunity to explain it to them and then break out the movies and put it in and say, okay, this is why this is funny. Let's sit down and block out the next 2 hours and 10 minutes of your life. I'm going to educate you.
Which is not easy to do with a 3 and 4-year-old.
No, but a 10-year-old will sit there.
Yeah. Well, your 10-year-old, maybe.
Yes, no. if he's got his Switch in his hand, he will. He'll sit down and watch a movie while
playing his Switch.
His Switch, yes.
There was also the whole mask sequence with with Palpatine, Vader, and Kylo, where Palpatine's like, "Do you have a helmet?" And he's like, "No, mine's broke." And then Palpatine's like, "Oh, I'll fix that for you."
And then Darth Vader, oh, that's real original.
Uh-huh.
And he's like so butthurt by like Palpatine giving Kylo Ren like all the attention. He's like, "What about me?" I thought that was pretty fun.
It just goes to show you, Whiny Annie never became anything more than Whiny Annie.
Yeah. Well, and they even made fun of like the stuff that people were upset about with, like when The Force Awakens came out, like when he pulls out the lightsaber, he's like, "Do you have a lightsaber?" And he turns it on. He's like, "Ooh, little flashy crossguard things."
Yeah.
We all thought that was so weird when we saw it. We're like, what is going on with these crossguards? Like, and then the mask being, and Darth Vader, even like from the beginning when he shows up and Palpatine's like, "Soon they'll see that Death Star 2 is fully operational," and he was like, "Death Star 2, it just seems a little derivative. Why don't we call it something cool like Star Killer Base?"
Yeah.
Like, that's a stupid idea until Kylo Ren says it. He's like, "Oh, that's a cool name."
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. The competition between Kylo and I love that he puts the org chart together and he's like, "Emperor, which is above Supreme Leader." I'm not sure about this. No, look, Emperor, Supreme Leader.
Right here.
And then Vader is just ever so slightly below Kylo Ren. And then there's just a bunch of random Imperial people.
Yes.
Which I thought was funny. And the Emperor is like so pissed off at Vader for throwing him down the shaft. And Vader's like, "I haven't even done that." "Well, not yet."
Yeah. Well, and I love when Kylo Ren tells him, like, when he's like, "Vader, you go down to the moon and bring up Luke Skywalker. I'm going to stay here with my new apprentice and whatever." And he's like, "No, but sending him down to the forest moon sets into action the exact course of events that lead to you going down the reactor shaft." And it's just funny because he's like, "I told you this is what's going to happen." Anyway, it was good. It was good. I like the Kylo Ren, Emperor Palpatine, and Darth Vader scenes. They were well done.
The Battle of Hoth, when Vader fought himself, I couldn't help but think of Bill and Ted as they were as Vader was fighting Vader, and they're going back and forth, and it's like, whoa, type of situation. It reminded me so much of a Bill and Ted movie, just that realization. And then they're like, "Get her!" And
and then when it's all over, well, that was weird. And then they just keep going.
They just move on with their lives. And
that was weird.
Yeah, it made me laugh. But yeah, it seriously reminded me of a Bill and Ted movie, and that was the very first thing I thought of when that happened.
I think my favorite was kind of near the end when they were like all fighting and Emperor Palpatine is like shooting lightning and he's like, "Zappity zappity!"
Yes.
Zappity zappity! And he like says it. It just like, it cracked me up.
Well, and when he tells them to, like, "Make with the fighty."
Yeah.
Oh, what did he say when he shoves Vader into the portal? What is it?
Can't remember.
What Palpatine wants, Palpatine gets, or something like that. I don't know.
And then just shoves him through.
Oh my goodness, he was funny. I thought he was pretty funny because
Palpatine
is kind of an annoying character sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, totally is. And I love that he had his kind of Grinch moment as he's falling down the shaft. And then, like, right as his heart does grow, he just dies, just gone.
Yes, it was fantastic.
And I love the only mention that we even really get about Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker is when Kylo Ren is explaining to him that, what happens and that Vader throws him down the reactor shaft, and he says, "And there ain't no coming back from that," or something like that.
Yes.
Like, everybody knows there's no coming back from that. Or like, but we all know that there is because he does. But
part of me really wanted him to see himself from Rise of Skywalker. I would have loved to have seen him like bump into himself as they're like bumping through time, and have him see himself and, ooh, that's what I look like, type of deal or something like that. I think that would have been entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would have been fun. But overall, I think I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was nervous that it was going to be really cheesy or really over the top, because I think a lot of the Lego Star Wars movies that they've done have been really cheesy and over the top, and so I was nervous that this would be too. But I think it was just the right amount of, like, we know that more people are going to watch this just because of the name than what normally would watch one of our Lego Star Wars movies, and so we want to throw in a lot of good stuff to draw in kind of the mainstream Star Wars crowd that maybe don't watch these movies all the time or don't play the
sure.
Lego video games. And I think that they did a good mix.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And this is something I think that you can watch a couple of times, and unless you're 4 or 10 or whatever, then you'll just watch it until your parents wish that it was never made. But there's a lot of those little Easter eggs in there that, you may need to watch a couple of times to catch all the references and things.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and it actually makes me want to go back and rewatch Lego Batman for that exact reason, is because there's so many just funny references in there from all the different Batman movies and iterations and all that.
I actually watched that the other night with my kids.
So funny.
And oh my gosh, I can't even count all of the things that are in there. Like every reference and and I remember my son looked at me and he said, "Is that a real bad guy? What about that one? Is he real? Is he?" Yes, they're all real. All of these people are real.
I love when Joker calls that out in Lego Batman too, and he's like, "Yeah, just Google it. Like, it's a real thing, kids. Go Google it."
Yeah, I mean, they did such a good job with that.
I mean, Lego, they're so clever,
They really are.
And then with them doing like Star Wars and stuff, because I mean, that's such a big universe too, of course. And just bringing everybody together, kind of like what we talked about earlier, like it's kind of it's kind of an ambitious project,
It really is.
And it does well though, because I mean, that's what people want. People like that because they like those Easter eggs. They're trying to find those little callbacks to what they know, like from the movies and films that they know.
Yeah, we also got several voice actors that are pretty familiar in this one. So, of course, Anthony Daniels is C-3PO because he's always C-3PO. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
No one else can.
R2 wasn't in this anywhere.
He wasn't?
I don't think there was a scene with R2-D2 in it.
I don't.
We got BB-8, we got Dio, we got C-3PO.
Wait, no, he was in the X-Wing when they were going to go blow up the Death Star.
Okay, so he was in the X-Wing with...
Yeah. With
Luke. Oh, yeah, he got shot in the trench run.
Yeah.
Yeah. But but not at the Life Day celebration. I wonder why he wasn't... Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Billy D. Williams... Lando. He actually voiced himself. And then I'm really surprised by this. Kelly Marie Tran actually voiced Rose again.
Which we saw more of Rose in this than we saw. And this movie was 57 minutes long. And we saw more Rose in this movie than we saw in The Rise of Skywalker that was like 5 hours long. So think about that, J.J. Abrams.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
I'm saying.
Shots fired.
Oh my gosh. And then there was one more. What was it? James Arnold Taylor voicing Obi-Wan Kenobi. He voiced him in all the other animated
Clone Wars and
Rebels and
Well, we had D. Bradley Baker as well, who did Clone Trooper. He's done like a ton of stuff. Greg Griffin was Maz Kanata. Voice of Daphne on Scooby-Doo. Voice of Azula. So yeah, I mean, they had a really good cast for this.
Yeah.
Oh, Helen Sadler, who voices Ray in this. She's in Bug Snacks, guys.
Oh
Oh
my
boy.
gosh.
So her Ray was just annoying. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah,
not to diss on your video game person here from your
it's
favorite video game, Colin, which is
it's
well
all
documented that it's your favorite video game of all time.
it is.
But like, I just felt like her accent was so forced and just didn't sound natural. But maybe it was just like it was very
Um,
clear it wasn't Daisy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had
I'm
kind of the
curious,
same
Jake.
thought.
Because your daughters watch Forces of Destiny a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so did you see any of the episodes with Jin Arso in them?
I don't know that I've seen any of them with her and with Jen
Okay,
Erso in there.
because she also voices her
Oh, does she?
in those.
I'll have to go check it out and see.
She actually
If
does
it,
a lot of Star Wars stuff.
listen, I'm not saying that she's not good. She just
No,
wasn't
I'm not
great in
saying that.
this.
I was just curious if
Yeah.
it's just her voice acting style or just the character.
Oh my gosh. I say one
What?
negative
I
thing
was
about a Bug Snacks
I was
actor, and
just
we've got to hear all
curious.
about it.
Oh my gosh. You guys,
So,
I haven't even played Bug Snacks yet.
so one of, so earlier today, our my Lego Advent calendar came, the Star
Okay.
Wars Lego Advent calendar, and I
Ooh.
saw
Star
this in the
Wars Lego Advent
store.
calendar.
Yes, I saw this in the store, and I wanted it because it has Darth Vader in a Christmas sweater. But
That's
it's really
adorable.
cool. I'm gonna hold it up here and
Uh-huh.
see if you guys can kind of see. But you've also got Poe back there in his Life Day sweater,
Oh.
Uh-huh.
and you've got Darth Vader there. So like, I feel like, and then on the back, you've even got Luke's home from Tatooine, and you've got Tatooine Luke there. So like, I feel like a lot of the stuff from this holiday special they put in the Lego Advent calendar for this year. So I would
That's
definitely
cool.
recommend,
Cool.
if you enjoyed this, to go possibly get that. The Lego Advent calendars, we've done them for a couple of years now, and they're just fun to have something to open up each day that's not candy, and then you
Yes.
kind of get to put together a little Lego thing. So
I love those.
They're sold out on Lego.com.
I have just
Walmart.com
like
is where we got ours.
I just have like the normal Lego one. I think it's called like City or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that one a lot, but I always wanted to get the Star Wars one though because like the last 4 years, 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
because I was working at a movie theater and we had all the Star Wars movies coming out right before Christmas. To me, like it wasn't even like, of course, like I love Christmas and I celebrated it and everything, and gave it its proper time. But like for me, Christmas also meant Star Wars for the last few years. And so it was just like, I was like, I need that advent calendar, but I could never find one.
Yeah, you got to get them. You've got to get them in November, or else they just sell out, and they sell out pretty quick. But I was really like, after seeing the special and then getting it today, I'm like, wow, a lot of the stuff in here is from the holiday special. The only thing that's really disappointing is it does have Rey, but it's got her blue lightsaber still instead of her yellow one, and it would have
Oh,
been
that's
cool if it was her yellow lightsaber.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh yeah, I
But-
do have to say one thing I also really liked about the show, the Lego special, was how detailed like their Lego bodies were, like to their outfits and everything. Like they were so detailed. Like even like I'm gonna go back to Kylo Ren's shirtless scene, you know,
Yes.
like where because obviously like he's wearing his pants like up higher. And so you
Right.
don't like see his belly button, but like, and they even did that in this. Like they just like, even though the Legos, cut in half because of their legs, but like it even continued up onto his torso. You know what I mean? So just like little,
Yeah.
just kind of funny things like that. Like
Yeah.
whoever designed those, like whoever was like the outfit designer or whatever, like they did a really good job for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So overall, what would you guys say? What would you rate this? What would you? I don't know if we don't really do ratings necessarily, but what would you say as far as, does this hold up? Do you think you'll watch it again next year? Is this a new holiday tradition, or was it just kind of fun to watch once or twice and maybe move on from that?
I've literally watched it 6 times already because my son is obsessed with it, and he's only 2, and says Star Wars, and it's so adorable, and I love it. So yeah, I'll probably watch it at least 44 times
tomorrow. Just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow. Before I came down here to podcast, my wife asked him what he wanted to watch, and he said Star Wars, and my wife was like, "Oh my gosh, what have you done to him?"
Tell her that right there is good parenting.
Right? Yep. That's exactly right.
Say, hey,
what about you, Zonner?
He could be watching porn, but he's watching Star Wars.
He's 2, Zonner. No,
exactly.
Oh. Marley, what did you think about the holiday special? Zonner's lost his opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah. So I think like after thinking about it a little bit, because let me back up. At first I was kind of thinking, you know what, I don't really know if I really care to watch it again, but after thinking about it some more, I was like, there were some kind of fun like Easter eggs, and I know I missed stuff, so I think I'd want to watch it at least one more time. I mean, I don't have kids, so like, I don't like. I'm not gonna. It's not just gonna be like people are gonna. I have people in my house being like, "Let's watch it," So for me, like, I think I'll probably watch it one more time, or maybe like the second half because I kind of didn't like the first half.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like, I ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would. So yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Zonner?
I think we'll probably make it an annual thing. My kids will probably watch it repeatedly, and then next year they'll remember that it's a thing, and they'll watch it repeatedly, and I'll sit down and watch it with them a few times. So yeah, I enjoyed it though. I think it was great. The Easter eggs were fun. Unlike Marley, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. So
yeah.
I'm not just going to sit down and watch the second half, but I will say it did start off a little bit slow, a little bit weird. But it's still better than the original.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Of course, pretty much anything is better than the original.
For sure. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was a lot of fun. We'll probably watch it multiple times at our house just because I've got a little one who's going to be into it, but I don't know that I'm going to sit down and necessarily watch it again now that I've watched it a couple of times through, because I knew we would talk about it on the show. But I do think it's one that, Life Day is November 17th, so that means we can start watching our holiday movies on the 17th of November going forward, so it pushes it back a week earlier than normal.
No, you can watch your Life Day movies beginning on November 17th.
Exactly.
You can only watch that one and the original holiday special on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay if it's just on that day. That's fine.
Listen, number one, I don't really care whether you're okay with it or not. I will watch what I want in my house. So, but we will probably bring it out every year and watch it because I do think it'll fit into our annual rotation. And Star Wars, you mentioned it being connected to Christmas, Marley, while you worked at the movie theater. For me, it's been connected to Christmas for a long time because, like, whenever the new movies would, like the video releases would come out or the DVDs would come out, it was always around Christmas time, and I would always want those for Christmas. And so, for whatever reason, it's always been kind of a Christmas tradition in my house, and this just adds to that. So, like Christmas and Star Wars just goes together really well. So.
Yeah, I got my first Star Wars action figure for Christmas.
So cute.
1980. It was.
I remember when I first unwrapped my Darth Vader master replica lightsaber on Christmas when I was a kid.
Ooh,
amazing!
Wow,
that's a good gift.
I remember the one Star Wars gift I remember that always stands out to me was the year that they released the original trilogy in THX. So this was before the special edition. It was the THX version that had like the weird covers where like one of them had Yoda's face on the cover and one of them had the AT-ATs on the cover and one of them had, I don't remember what, I think Darth Vader on the cover.
Yeah, one of them had Vader, one had Yoda, and one of them had
AT-ATs Marley.
Stormtrooper. It was a Stormtrooper, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the first one was a Stormtrooper. I think the one with the AT-ATs had a Stormtrooper on it because of Hoth. I don't remember. But anyway, it was the THX ones.
I cringed the whole time. I can't do AT-AT. It's in my heart. It's AT, and that's how it is. But
that's fine.
Rick and George Lucas, whatever. That's fine.
I do have like a Stormtrooper, like a glass ornament that I have on my tree, and nice. It's because of working at the movie theater and just being around so much Star Wars around that time of year, and I'm like, I have to have something Star Wars with my tree. I haven't put my tree up yet though, because I'm not a heathen, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Jake. I'm sorry. I just had to.
If it makes you feel any better, I haven't really seen it since we put it up, but I have it up.
That is true. That is true. But no, and also like I just remembered too, I got this Star Wars sweatshirt last year for Christmas. I bought it for myself for Christmas.
Nice.
I really like that one. That's rad.
It came from the men's section at Target.
It doesn't look like a men's sweater though.
I got it like it's really small, so it's more fitting. But yeah, it came from the men's section. Because that's how I roll when it comes to graphic tees.
As you should. I mean, it's fine.
Anyways.
Because for whatever reason, Ben happened to get the better graphics tees.
Yep. Well, we'd like to hear what you think, or read, I guess, what you think about the Star Wars Holiday Special, whether it's the old one or the new Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. You can find us.
Do we want to hear what people think about the old one?
It's fun sometimes. It's fun. You can find us in all the places at Stolen Droids, or you can go to our website, stolendroids.com. You can also send us an email to feedback@stolendroids.com. Only because Colin put it up at the bottom. Otherwise, I wouldn't have remembered.
That's my job. That's my job, Jake.
Oh, sorry, Colin. Sorry. I'll let you do it next time.
Fine.
Colin and I haven't recorded together for quite a few weeks. You can tell we're out of rhythm here, out of sync.
That is true.
I've missed you so much, Colin.
Oh. I've missed both of you together.
I'm just glad that we're all back together.
Except for Zach. Oh wait, Zach. Yeah. Zach's not here.
Zach.
Yeah, it was almost a Life Day miracle. But
it would have been a miracle.
Well, we'll have to see if we can pull that out next week. Next year. Yeah, maybe next year. For Life Day, we'll have all of us together again.
Maybe next year we'll get our Life Day miracle.
We should do a Life Day special every year.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening and watching. And happy Life Day a week late, because when this comes out, it'll be a week after Life Day. But happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to everybody. And thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, all of the stuff. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember, Christmas should be celebrated after Thanksgiving.